I think everyone would tell you that what you would want to wear in a case of World War III or zombie apocalypse would be a G-Shock, right? And I can't disagree. I wear G-Shocks. I'm a massive G-Shock fan. I love them just as much as the other guy. But there is this thing, every time I wear G-Shock, it makes me feel a bit boyish. And that's not necessarily bad. Sometimes there are situations that I would prefer that. But sometimes there aren't. I'm 35. I don't really dress like a hip hop star. I got a kid. And sometimes I don't want to feel like a boy. Sometimes I want to wear a watch that makes me feel like a, you know, man, dad. And I think, no, I'm actually pretty sure I found one.
Let's get started.
It's quite funny, even after so many years that Seiko discontinued the SKX, you still hear that the era of tough, reliable, ISO certified divers for 200 bucks is gone. Even though Citizen has been making them all along. The NY mechanical models and this BN Eco-Drive models. It's quite difficult to describe, but when you put this watch on, it really makes you feel different. There is almost like a certain aura of ultimate reliability. Somehow the watch is telling you, like, don't worry, pal, I'll be here ticking away. You just do your thing, no matter what it is. Let's have a look at it. Let's start with arguably the coolest packaging in business. Yeah, this is the boyish Carol speaking, but look, it's an oxygen tank. Like, I know it's useless, but a lot of cool things are useless. And I think you just gotta appreciate the extra mile Citizen has gone, and the fact that they just didn't use another generic box. It's still on my desk. You may have noticed that the watch is not on the original strap. I got two things to say about the original strap. I actually really like the way it looks. I absolutely hate the way it feels. I mean, unless you're planning to beat someone to death with it, it's way too stiff for normal daily wear. I mean, it's super solid if nothing else, and it feels like it would outlive the watch. Plus, it has this super cool no decompression table on the side, which is, super useful when you work in IT, desk divers. But I just couldn't stand it on my wrist. So I quite quickly changed it for this waffle strap, and I like it a lot more because it keeps the testosterone high, and it's way more comfortable. But let's move to the more important stuff. Yes, this watch is quartz. No, I don't think it doesn't have a soul. Quite contrary. It has a ton of character. This is a solar watch, powered by something absolutely amazing called Citizen's Eco-Drive. It can use pretty much any light to charge itself, artificial or natural. But more importantly for a G-Shock-like watch for professionals, it's that reliable. In matter of fact, I know quite a few people that have the Citizen Eco-Drive watch for well over 15 years. And the watches are still working flawlessly, and most probably will continue to do so for many years to come. The accuracy is stated to plus minus 15 seconds a month, but in practice it's probably the most accurate watch I own right now. I only adjust the time when there is a time change from wintertime to summertime. Otherwise, it's just there. It's always ready. But, we watch nerds don't want something that is that reliable, always ready. We want something delicate and fragile and something that needs servicing. And it's not that accurate. Because, soul. And quite frankly, because it's fascinating and almost mesmerizing how a bunch of springs and gears can work together to tell the time. And my watch boxes are full of those. But there are exceptions. And this watch is exceptional exception. I am a massive fan of this movement. I think there are watches that you can recognize by just seeing the shape of the case from across the room. Like Panerai, Seamaster 300, Apple Watch. And I think this is one of them. The case is unique enough. Bold, round, almost like a hockey puck with a crown at 4 o'clock. It is a chunky thing, but it doesn't wear too big despite its 44mm diameter. Luck to luck is 48mm, which I think is perfection. It's 12mm thick, and the luck width is 20. It's all brushed. Very, very well brushed throughout. And you wouldn't really want it any other way. It gives it the ultimate tooly look. The crown is protected by the crown guards. And the crown is actually high polish. And normally I would complain about lack of grip, but here, I can't really. The crown is giant. There is a ton of grip. Plus it being quartz, you don't really have to interact with it that often. It's actually really well finished and beautifully signed with a Promaster logo. Like, see Seiko? It doesn't really hurt. Or we can ask Citizen, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't hurt. Action of the crown is adequate. I mean, it feels solid enough, but we have to keep in mind that we are dealing with €200 diver at the time of making this video and have, like, you know, reasonable expectations. The bezel is a little bit different as well. It's 60-click, unidirectional, and it wouldn't offer a ton of grip if it wasn't for these extra nair links. The action, however, is absolutely perfect. It's absolutely precise, zero backplay, spot on alignment. It just sounds and behaves like a professional tool. Yes, I have better looking and sounding bezels in my collection, but this one has a different feeling about it. Like the absolute no-nonsense feeling. It's not there to look good or sound good. It's there to do its job. Big plus for me is got aluminum bezel insert, which is my favorite bezel insert material. The right one. With a silver printed numerals and minute markers. No nonsense, legible, and in my opinion gorgeous. The caseback is actually quite funny. It's high polished with all the possible specs Citizen could think of, ISO certification, and it actually says do not open, service center only. Okay, I'm convinced. There is enough text that it would keep you entertained on the toilet in case you forgot your cell phone. Then we move to the dial. As you can see, I got the red version, which I like the most until recently Citizen introduced this. God damn it, Citizen, your timing sucks. The red version is one of the flashier ones. The first black and blue versions are actually matte. These flashier versions have a sunburst dial. The layout is as die-watchy as it gets. Large, raised, I don't think they're applied hour markers. It has its distinctive design. With this giant underpants like hour marker at 12, the smaller military badges like hour markers at 3, 6 and 9, and the round hour markers for the rest, except for the 4 o'clock cutout for date. Small date window with a simple, no-nonsense white frame. All the indices have high polish frame, but it feels like it's done to increase the legibility rather than aesthetic reasons here. Because legibility is a thing. No, the thing that you can't complain about here. The handset is unique and the very definition of function over form. There is no mistaking in what time it is just at a glance. The hands are big, proud, visually distinguished, not only with a different shape but with color too. Where clearly the minute hand is the priority, as it should be on a professional diver. No nonsense, tool, functional design. The hour hand has a matching high polish frame to the hour markers, whereas the minute hand is matte, simple, no nonsense. The legibility carries over to low light performance too. The loom is nothing short but amazing. It lasts just as long as on my Kamasu, but unlike Kamasu, this one is actually spectacular to look at. It's bright blue and you can see it kicking in just when you walk through a shadow, not to mention in low light. When it comes to the text on the dial, it's about the right amount. There is only a Citizen sign, right where it should be at 12. Eco-Drive and divers 200 meter below the pinion. All white, matching the minute hand, simple, crispy, no nonsense. And then there is this white sloping rehaul with printed minute track. I think it all looks great together, and it works together. It's all covered by mineral crystal, which is my least favorite crystal. But it does decent job with hiding reflections. I think you got the picture. I really like this watch. And if I should be completely honest, it's probably the watch I wear the most when I'm at home. It's super comfy for one thing, but I'm not afraid to banging around when I play with my daughter or do something on my motorbike. I am one of those weirdos that wear watches overnight, simply because I wake up a couple of times a night. Or rather, I'm being woken up a couple of times a night. And I like to know what time it is and get depressed of how little sleep I get. And yes, I agree, G-Shock is definitely more practical watch. You know, it has alarms and world times and durability. But this feels different. This really makes me feel like a man. Like daddy. For me, this is actually the perfect definition of no-nonsense tool watch. Or it had been until recently. A couple of weeks ago, I received the famous email from Helm that it's finally my turn. You know, after being only 2 years, 7 months and 22 days on the waiting list. And I thought I moved on, that I wouldn't buy the watch, but I did in the end, and oof, it's really as good as they say. And if somehow somebody combined this movement with this case, boy, that would be the ultimate watch. That's for another video though. Okay guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the videos, I thank you for watching this far. And please feel free to drop a comment of what can be improved for the next time. My name is Karel and this is Watch. Cheers.